You ever feel like you're carrying the world and nobody even knows it? Like you're fighting battles that you can't even explain and healing from wounds you never talked about. Yeah, this episode is for you. Hey y'all, welcome back to Steff's Signature Corner. Today we're talking about something very grown woman and very grown man. These are things that every woman and every man faces. The silent battles, the stuff we hide, the wounds we don't say out loud, the pressure we carry quietly, the responsibilities we handle alone, the tears nobody sees, the strength people assume we have even on the days we don't. You don't have to be a parent to relate to this episode. You don't have to be overwhelmed or exhausted or in transition. If you've ever gone through anything in silence, you're in the right place. So today we're slowing down. We're breathing. We're talking truth. We're getting honest. We're unpacking the weight. And we're remembering that God sees what people don't. We all carry something. But some of us, we carry things in silence because we feel like we have to. You go to work like nothing's wrong. You show up for your kids like you didn't cry in the shower. You smile in public but fall apart when you finally get in your car. You answer texts with, "I'm good," and you're really overwhelmed. You keep the house running. You keep your responsibilities going. You keep being strong because people expect you to. For men, y'all get overlooked the most. People assume you don't break. People assume you don't struggle. People assume you don't need help. For women, we carry emotional and physical weight at the same time. We're expected to be soft, strong, patient, organized, nurturing, disciplined and calm, and all of the other things all at one time. And the truth is, nobody sees the pressure until it cracks. Nobody knows your breaking point until you break. Nobody knows the tears you fight to hold back. Nobody knows the prayers you whisper in the dark. Nobody knows. But let's dig deeper, because silent battles come with silent weight. So there's this weight that sits on your chest when you're going through something quietly. It's heavy. A weight that doesn't show up in pictures, so nobody can really see it. A weight that doesn't come out in conversations easily, so people don't know. A weight that follows you everywhere, even when you pretend like it's not there. And for some of us, it's heartbreak we don't talk about. For some, it's childhood pain. For some, it's betrayal we've never healed from. For some, it's major life transition we didn't ask for. For some, it's responsibilities we didn't plan or want. For some, it's grief. It's loneliness. And for some, it's disappointment in ourselves. Men hide emotional weight because they're taught not to show it. Women hide emotional weight because they're tired of being the strong one. And nobody knows how heavy your healing truly is. And the wild thing is, sometimes people don't even notice you're hurting because you're so good at carrying it. I want to talk about the kind of loneliness that doesn't look like loneliness. The loneliness where you're surrounded by people but feel alone. You have friends but don't want to burden them. You smile, but your spirit feels tired, heavy. You're talking to someone but still feel misunderstood. You're in a relationship but you feel unseen. You're parenting but feel forgotten. And you're busy but still feel empty. You're growing but you still feel isolated. Loneliness doesn't always look like being by yourself either. Sometimes it looks like doing everything for everyone and no one realizing you hadn't had a moment to breathe. And let me tell you something. Strength can be isolating. People assume you're okay because you have survived so much. People assume you don't need help because you're independent. People assume you don't struggle because you handle things well. But God knows the truth. And speaking of God, this next part changed everything for me. I had to learn this the hard way. People don't see your silent battles, but God does. He sees the tears that never fall. He hears the prayers you whisper quietly. He feels the weight you carry on your chest. He knows the strength you pretend to have. He counts every sacrifice. He sees every lonely moment. He watches you have those silent victories. He holds every broken piece you don't talk about. God doesn't need for you to announce your pain for him to send you healing. He doesn't need you to explain your exhaustion for him to give you rest. He doesn't need for you to have it together for him to hold you together. Sometimes the biggest growth happens when nobody knows you're growing. Sometimes the biggest healing happens when nobody knows you're hurting. Sometimes the biggest elevation happens in silence. Because God knows how to protect what he's building. And that brings me to something I really want to say. We say this a lot, but it's time we believe it. You are not just the strong one. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to fall apart sometimes. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to not be okay. Being strong is not your personality. It's a survival mode you had to learn. But guess what? You deserve to experience life outside of survival. You deserve ease. You deserve emotional safety. You deserve comfort. You deserve support. You deserve love that lifts you and not drains you. And for the men listening, strength is not silence. Strength is not suffering alone. Strength is not carrying everything with no one to turn to. You deserve support too. So let's talk about how we start healing those silent battles. Not every healing journey is public. Not every breakthrough needs a testimony yet. Not every prayer needs to be announced. So here's how you heal privately. First, name your silent battle. Call it what it is. Stop hiding it from yourself. Number 2, find a healthy outlet. Prayer, therapy, journaling, a trusted friend, a quiet night alone, a walk, a worship playlist. Number 3, release the pressure to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. Healing is messy. Healing is slow. Healing is uneven. You're going to hit a whole bunch of bumps. Healing is also emotional. You're going to cry. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be upset. You're going to be mad. Number 4, give yourself permission to rest. Silence isn't weakness. It's recovery. It's okay. Rest. Number 5, ask God to fill the empty spaces you don't show anyone. He specializes in the silent places. And now, before we close, I want to give you something gentle to work on for this week. Identify one silent battle you've been carrying alone. Write it down. Say it out loud. Acknowledge it. Write how it makes you feel, not just what it is. Be honest with yourself, because that's important. Give that silent battle to God in one sentence, one whispered prayer, one moment of release. Do one thing this week that brings your spirit relief. Rest, talk, cry, pray, breathe, step back. Something that supports you. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. This episode was heavier but necessary. Silent battles shape us, but they don't have to break us. You don't have to be strong every day. You don't have to carry everything alone. You don't have to pretend your heart doesn't get tired. God sees you. God hears you. God is holding you. And God is healing you even quietly. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.